What's up, everyone? Shoe Booty Sports coming at you Tuesday night per the normal time and place. This is your host, Graham Powell, co-host Bradley Brown over there. Say what's up, Brad.
What's happening?
You got a very Mike Tomlin vibe going on at the moment. I don't know if that's what you're going for, but it works.
No, I'll take it though.
I mean, he's a winning coach. Hasn't won a meaningful game in the playoffs in a while, but hey, still got a ring, still a Hall of Fame coach, still a good looking man. But anyway, let's go down a different path as far as postseason football goes. First, quick shout out to our sponsor, Rhino Races. Shoe Booty Sports is presented by Rhino Races. Rhino Races is a virtual race series that offers 5 different races: a 5K, a 10K, a half marathon, a marathon, and the Rhino Ultra. You can sign up for one or all five of their races at rhinoraces.com. Run your race at your convenience, track it with your fitness app of choice, screenshot your results as proof of completion, submit those results to rhinoraces.com under the submit results section. Once your results are verified by Rhino Races staff, your reward will be shipped to you by mail. Also, check out their gear section for t-shirts, wristbands, decals, and more. That's rhinoraces.com. Rhino Races is the premier virtual running series, and you can find us, Shoe Booty Sports, on Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcast. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter at Shoe Booty Sports. Twitter, X, all the same as far as I'm concerned, and pretty much as probably as far as all of you are concerned. Okay, so NFC, AFC championship games. Pretty good games. I was 1 for 1 on my pick, or 1-1 on my picks, 1 for 2, I guess you could say.
Yeah,
Uh, you had the same, right? Or no? Did you pick the Ravens or Chiefs?
I picked the Ravens.
Okay, I couldn't remember. All right, so we both went 1-1. I am surprised, but I'm not as far as the AFC Championship game goes. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
I thought if anyone was going to dethrone the Chiefs, it would be this Ravens team.
Why did they
But
not run the ball, man?
exactly,
Like
like they
best
just
rushing team in the NFL.
the best running team in the league and just completely abandoned it. So I don't remember the offensive coordinator's name, but he's got to be feeling some kind of heat from somebody, even if it's just the fan base, the Baltimore fan base. But John Harbaugh signed off on that.
Yeah,
Made no adjustments at halftime, and untimely to well, all turnovers are untimely in the postseason, but two bad turnovers that cost them. One at the goal line, the other in the red zone. A horrible pick by Lamar.
terrible.
Yeah, threw it into triple coverage, just trying to make a play. Yeah, but still a really bad decision, bad throw.
Uh, yeah, he had somebody wide open underneath, so I I don't get it.
It,
But
and
yeah, I think that was the most exciting first quarter of football or first 10 minutes of football I've seen in a while. That was electric.
why so? Tell me about it.
Oh
And
man, you had the Chief. I mean, you had Chiefs going down there. You had Mahomes and Kelsey looking like future Hall of Famers, which they are. I mean, man, it was just beautiful that first touchdown. Uh,
gorgeous throw.
Gorgeous throw. Then you had the Ravens go down there. I don't think they scored on their first possession, did they? They punted, right?
All right. Well, I was trying not to say this, but you're asking the wrong guy. I actually missed the
Oh
vast majority of the AFC Championship game. I had
man,
a I had a 1 hour track run in Russellville, and it was an afternoon race, and I didn't realize it was an afternoon race until like a day or two, but like a couple of days before. I was like, oh, it's at 1:30, and Russellville is an hour and a half from where I live, so I knew that I was going to miss the AFC Championship game unless I got home and started from the beginning. But then I'd have to start the NFC Championship game late, and I was listening to it on the way, the second half on the way home anyway. So by the time I got home and realized what was happening, I was like, no, there was still, it was the fourth quarter. Like, no, let's go. Let's see what's happening. So missed the first portion of the game. Made sure to watch the highlights, like you said. Mahomes was Mahomes. Kelsey looked like the Travis Kelsey of old.
Dude, looked like a Venus flytrap catching everything that was thrown his way, even if it wasn't even anywhere close to him. Then you had Lamar. He completed a pass to himself,
Yeah, I did see
which is
that.
crazy.
Along with the Simpsons, like what
Yeah.
was the bully in the Simpsons name? Oh yeah, you didn't watch the Simpsons growing up. It was like that I get him and like the like Ralph was the dorky kid or something, right? Anyway, the bully's like, oh, I'll do it to myself, and then he just throws a pass to himself. I was like, yeah, it's essentially what Lamar did. That was one of the few highlights of the game for the Ravens.
Yeah. I mean, they were both moving the ball so well that first quarter, even the beginning of the second quarter. And then they both kind of went stagnant, man. I mean, Chiefs didn't really have to move the ball. They just had to play keep away. They leaned on their running game, burned up the clock. And Ravens, man, they just abandoned their running game, man, and just put too much on Lamar. I mean, he's a good player, but he can't do it all himself.
The Chiefs did what the Ravens should have done.
Yes.
Yeah, they ran crammed Pacheco down their throat, which opened up the passing game. And Mahomes is going to be Mahomes in those moments. I mean, Isaiah Pacheco, what a find, in the seventh round
Dude.
from Andy Reid and company. What was Andy Reid's like one of his biggest knocks, when he was in Philly? He was just pass, 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 just pass all the time, didn't run the ball. That's not been the case this season, and really, really last season as well. I mean, they run Isaiah Pacheco. They realize what they have. But like you said, Baltimore, best rushing team in the league coming into this game. I had the most rush yards, most rush yards of any team in the league. Gus Edwards, Justice Hill, was it Keaton Mitchell? Was that his name? I mean, he was a stud for a while. Obviously, he's been out for a while now. That was an unfortunate end of the season for him because he looked like he was going to be a player for them. But still, you got Gus Edwards back there, who's gotten the job done for you the second half of the season, and
Didn't they
just
sign Dalvin
abandoned it.
Cook?
They did sign Dalvin Cook. He saw a little bit of action last week, not much to do anything, and he really only saw meaningful action when they had a pretty sizable lead against the
Uh,
Texans. But yeah, Gus Edwards is the guy that's been doing it for you, and Justice Hill on third down, and you just abandoned that. You just completely you changed who you were. It's like it kind of reminded me a little bit of like what the Chargers in the mid 2000s would do when they had LaDainian Tomlinson, Philip Rivers, Antonio Gates, and just looked like I believe they were the number one seed a couple of times, especially during the playoff year I was thinking of, where Marty Schottenheimer just completely abandoned who they were all season. What got them to that point? It was the playoffs, so they just suddenly decided to play different and didn't play like they didn't play like they were. It wasn't they didn't play their kind of football. And sure enough, they got ousted. You go up against the Chiefs, and you try to change who you are, and we see the result. The best player in the world sent you home early.
yeah.
So, and the
And I
Chiefs, I mean, the Chiefs, we had questions about them all the way through the end of the season, the end of the regular season. But as soon as the wild card weekend started, the Chiefs looked like the
it,
Chiefs again.
yeah, it all came together.
I was like, oh, they're back. I was like, they look like the
Let
champs.
me ask you this. Do you see the Ravens making it this far again with Lamar?
I believe they have a lot of contracts
Because
that are
I do
about to.
not. I think this is their one shot and they blew it. I mean, you lucked out. I mean, hell, you don't even have you're not even going up against Joe Burrow. I mean, he's going to be back next season. They'll probably be back in it. I don't think the Ravens make it to the AFC Championship game again.
Probably not, but it's not. And I'm not saying you're saying this, but it's not. It's not because of Lamar. It'll be because they have a lot of
Oh,
players that they're going
yeah.
to have to re-sign, and they're not going to be able to re-sign them all. They're
The
not going to be able
stars
to
aligned
re-sign all
for
those
them, and
guys.
they blew it, man.
They did. It was a bad game plan, bad execution, bad decision making, and they still had chances. Like the Zay Flowers penalty.
Dude,
I
Zay
wasn't
Flowers, man, yeah, he cost them a whole lot, man.
yeah,
Cost them a whole lot.
I wasn't crazy about the call. Like it was you shouldn't do it. Like don't even put yourself in that position.
No,
But if I'm an official, I don't unless something was like really said that they heard. I'm
apparently it's
probably
because the
I'm
ball
not
was so
throwing the
close to the player's head or something, spinning on the ground that the ref said that they have to call it.
yeah, and maybe so. I wasn't crazy about it, but that's on Zay Flowers still. He put them in that position. You had a big play, and then you backed up 15 yards because of your penalty. And then
Yeah,
on the same drive,
you fumble
you
it in the end zone.
fumble it in the
Like
end zone. And yeah, turnover. And then Lamar, they still have a chance. And then Lamar throws that awful pick in the triple
they don't
coverage.
kick the field goal. Like what? What the hell, man?
Yeah.
Like
Well, it's, I don't know. It's a bit of a head scratcher. And to the people that, talked about Lamar, some of which are haters, others are just calling it like they see it. Say, hey,
yeah,
this guy's not as good in the postseason as he is in the regular season. It's
no,
hard to say they're wrong right now after that. I mean,
you can't say that they're wrong, man.
no, it's if by me saying that, basically saying if you're a Lamar fan or something like that and you're trying to defend him, not a lot to defend there. He didn't look good. Bad decision making, bad player all around by the Ravens. So
Yeah,
they're going home. Chiefs are moving on to the Super Bowl.
and the Chiefs opened up as an underdog, man.
Yeah, I'm
Taking all
surprised. I'm a little
the
surprised
throwing
by
it
that.
on the Chiefs, man.
I am a little surprised by that. What, a 2-point dog? Is that right?
I think they opened up at 2.5 points. Yeah.
I will start by saying this. Um, I don't think I'm ever betting against Patrick Mahomes. This is what I get.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't think
not.
I'm ever betting against Patrick Mahomes in a playoff game ever again.
Nope.
Let's talk about him for a bit. There have been a couple of people already saying, I won't say who. You can open up social media, figure it out,
Yeah.
whatever. He's the best ever. Some are already saying that. As far and here's the distinction. Brady was the most, of course, that's the GOAT according to pretty much everyone universally.
Yes.
Not everyone, but the vast majority. Is anyone that wants to correct my language there? All right, so Brady's the most productive. Because let's face
Yeah.
it, those first three Super Bowls, yeah, he was clutch in moments, but come on, he was a game manager.
Yeah.
He was a game manager on the best team for those first three Super Bowls. And then he became, over time, a great player, an MVP. And then he ended up winning four more. And it was on him. Patrick Mahomes has not been a game manager. Ever since he became the starter, he's now in his fourth Super Bowl in what, 5 years, 4 and 5 years. He's won two. I don't even hold that against him. The one they lost to the Bucks, because he was running for his life the entire game, and I still even remember this play that he made in that game where two Bucks defenders were hitting him like Devin White and somebody else, and like he's like this. He's horizontal in the air and still somehow making a pass like 10 plus yards down the field to a teammate. I'm like, how in the world did he do that? Only one guy in the world can do that, and that was Patrick Mahomes. He didn't have a bad game. There was nothing he could do because he was on his back every play or running for his life. So I don't even hold that against him. And then, of course, the Chiefs did what Andy Reid and company would do, completely fix that offensive line after that. Got that taken
Yep.
care of, got that resolved. And you know, now you see what you expect. This Super Bowl champs a year ago, back into this year. It's hard. It's hard for me to say now, like anybody's going to top Brady as the GOAT.
Yeah, it's going
But
to be hard, man.
Patrick Mahomes may be the best. He may be the best quarterback skill wise I've ever seen play.
Yes, I'll agree with you there.
As far as everything he can do, maneuvering in the pocket. I don't know how many times he's been sacked this postseason. Has he been sacked more than once? I know he got sacked once. I heard it on the radio. I know he got sacked once, but how many times has he been sacked this postseason? I don't know. It's been more than that. I don't think he's thrown a pick this postseason.
He's gotten hit a lot, but yeah, he does not get sacked.
I mean, just look at the.
He straight up got punched in the face a couple of days ago in that game. It was brutal.
But you come out, you beat the Bills. Like you beating the Bills, you beating the Ravens, and
In
potentially
their
going to beat
house.
this 49ers team. Yeah,
Yeah.
both on the road. And now you got a really good 49ers team who's the best team in the NFC at least. This would be quite a run if they can pull this off. I guess I understand why 49ers would be the favorite. They are the best team in the NFC. The Ravens were largely considered the best team in the AFC. Chiefs didn't look that great even toward the end of the regular season. Didn't look good at all, but played awful
No.
some games.
Yeah.
But I'm not. You've got to factor in this playoff run. You got to look at what they're doing now. They flipped a switch and have figured it out. I'm not picking against Patrick Mahomes ever again in a playoff
No.
game. So I'll go ahead and say Chiefs win this one. We'll go over it again more next week, but yeah, I got the Chiefs. I'm not going to come up with a score yet. Like I said, we'll discuss all that next week on next week's episode because we got
We
a
got
couple
plenty of time to
weeks.
think about it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I know this. I'm not picking against the Chiefs again.
No. Yeah,
So
I wouldn't go out on the limb and say Mahomes is the GOAT quite yet. He's still got plenty of ways to go. He's still got him out a 27-3 comeback in the Super Bowl. He's got all kinds of stuff to overcome
I don't know that
to
he'll be
overtake
down
Brady.
27-3 in a Super Bowl.
I don't either, but
Yeah. Um, and again, I didn't think anybody would win 7 rings, not a quarterback. But I get the argument. I'll just say that.
oh, I get it. Yeah, he sees numbers, compared to him, him and Brady, him and Peyton, all those guys, in their first 5, 6 seasons. Or, they compared him to Peyton Manning's playoff wins where he was at. He was almost like 500 or something like
He's
that.
already got more playoff wins than Peyton Manning.
Oh yeah.
Like, that's wild. He's in his 20s. He already has more. What is he? 27? Something like that. He's got more
Something like
play.
that.
Yeah, he's got more playoff wins than Peyton Manning does. I think
Yeah.
he's either tied or one shy of Joe Montana.
Dude. And how crazy is it that Kelsey broke Rice's reception record for playoffs? I mean, who would have thought that would have ever fell?
I did see that stat, and I was like, wow. This is. I mean, we're watching greatness. We are seeing
Yeah.
greatness in front of us, and you don't really register it until you don't have it anymore. But we are watching all time greatness. Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelsey, Andy Reid calling the plays.
If if the Chiefs win it, do you think Kelsey goes out on top this year? He retires?
Oh, I don't know.
Think he calls it quits with his brother?
I wouldn't. It just depends on. I mean, he is winning life no matter how you put it. Both Kelsey brothers are by the way,
Yeah.
but Travis especially. You put up that kind of performance this past week. You go get a third Super Bowl. You're dating the biggest star in the world. You have a mega successful podcast, almost as successful as this one,
Yeah.
and it's how do you how does it get any better? Like, how does it even get any better? You get Super Bowl MVP or something, which I don't know how you're going to get that over Mahomes unless you just have a insane day, a 15 catch, 200-yard day,
Yeah.
which I wouldn't be super shocked by that. I'd be a little surprised, but I wouldn't be completely shocked by that. Because who's
What
going
do
to
you
be
have?
able
Like
to?
11 catches and like 117 yards or something like that,
Yeah, I think it was like a
and a touchdown.
11, a
He
buck
would,
16, and a
I think he
touchdown,
would have
something
scored
like
you
that.
like 37 fantasy points, which is way more than what he was putting up for my team there towards the end of the season. Um, but hey, happy for him.
Yeah, he wasn't the Travis Kelsey of old in the regular season, but he has been, and not even really in the postseason. He had like three drops, in that for opening round game. I'm drawing a blank. Who did they beat in the opening in wild card in the wild card round
Uh,
before the Bills game? You too, huh?
yeah,
All right. Well,
haven't slept a whole bunch, man. It's hard for my brain to work.
it's we start the show late. We'll use that excuse, but then again, I mean that was a few weeks ago at this point, and
Yeah,
they've reeled off some pretty big wins since then. So it's hard to remember that. But yeah, it's an all time run. I don't know if he does. I know the rumors out there. He can if he wants, but I don't know why you like what Michael Jordan
they
has
they're
talked
gonna.
about his
Yeah,
big regret of not running it back on that
yeah,
third three-peat. But then again, a lot of that was out of his hands too. It was going to be a completely different team,
yeah.
and he felt he had no choice but to walk away, and that was the right move considering the situation. Might as well go out on top there because you're not going to have the same team, coach, leadership coming back. This is different. Andy Reid's not going to go anywhere. Patrick Mahomes isn't going anywhere for a long time. Why walk away from that?
Yeah.
I mean, he's been in the league what 11 years. I think he's been in the league 11 years. Like this is his 11th
Yeah.
season. I mean, he could walk. He's a surefire Hall of Famer. He can if
If
he
they bring all
wants.
the if they bring all the pieces back, which they should, I mean they're a fairly young team, or on the younger side for the NFL. He should definitely come back and run it back.
Yeah, I just don't know why you walk away yet. I feel like if you walk away now, you're leaving too much on the table.
Yeah.
He's still a player. He's still a big time player. Best tight end in the league. I don't know why you like it unless he just wants to. Yeah, I mean he's earned the right to do whatever the heck he wants to do. But if it's me personally, if I'm in that situation, I can't fathom it. It's easy for me to sit here and say, this is what I'd do if I were him. But come on, man. He's living a fairy tale right now. He's
Yeah.
dating the biggest star in the world. He's got a mega successful podcast that he doesn't need money after this. But then again, your podcast is it's more relevant if you're playing. I mean, people are tuning in more if you're playing. I don't see the show being as big maybe in 5 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe so. Maybe it gets even better because they can devote more time to it. I don't know. But part of what makes their show so relevant is you've got two current players
They'll
that are
bring Taylor
really
in
good at
on the
what they do.
conversation.
Huh?
So they'll bring Taylor Swift in on the podcast. make it more popular.
if she has more time. If she has time, I don't know what her schedule is like, other than very busy. But point is, he doesn't need the money. Obviously, he's already had a couple of big contracts. It's just whatever he wants to do. Like I said, if I'll try to put myself in his shoes and act like I know. I'll try to put myself in those shoes. I would just look at it this way: if I got if I got something left in the tank, you don't necessarily have to run it empty, but I feel like he's got a lot left in the tank. I would come back. I would try to keep that unit together for as long as possible and go out that way. Go out after somebody puts us out. That would probably be how I would handle it personally, like me. But like I said, he can do whatever he wants. Having said, okay, let's recap the NFC Championship game now. I did see that entire game.
Mm.
I was in a little bit not a little bit. I was a lot of bit in disbelief early on. I was like, the Lions are really doing this.
Yep. I thought the Lions were going to the Super Bowl, man.
See,
Then the wheels fell off.
I just kept waiting. I just kept waiting. I was like, when is this
Well, yeah, we
bubble
all
going
just
to
kept
burst?
waiting.
Like,
But yeah,
I didn't say they're I the only time I said that in a sentence was texting saying, if the Lions actually go to the Super Bowl, this will be wild.
oh yeah,
That's the only time I said anything about it. I didn't say they're going to win it. I just said if they do it, because I kept waiting, like I said, for that bubble to burst. And sure enough, it
yeah.
did. 49ers came back. It was all 49ers in the second half. Brock Purdy did it with his legs. Just everything ever since that, turnover on downs, it was all 40. The momentum swung. It started to swing, and then the 49ers just
14 points within like 8 minutes of game time.
Lions gave a little bit,
Dude,
49ers took a lot. And it was just all them after that.
yeah. And we all know McCaffrey only gets better as the game goes on, man. He keeps running harder.
That dude's in killer shape, man.
Dude,
He is in absolute killer shape. Absolute
like a
beast running the
juggernaut
ball.
just running down there.
Yeah, and I was actually thinking like, man, I don't know. I can't say definitively that I would take if I was starting a team right now. Would I take Christian McCaffrey or Jameer Gibbs? Like if I was starting a team right now, I can't definitively say I would take McCaffrey. After that fumble, it made the decision a
After
little
the
bit
fumble,
easier.
yeah, you can.
But not McCaffrey's just he's so dynamic. He can do it all. I would still take him. He's the best running back in the league.
It's like a dang cheat code.
Yeah, absolute beast. Purdy made enough plays. Just went out and was a good football player.
Yeah, he managed that game pretty good. That's what all his teammates are saying.
Yeah,
So,
he doesn't look the part. He looks like a kid out there for one,
yeah.
but he doesn't have the size. He doesn't have the big arm. He's just a gamer. He's just an absolute gamer. And the pick he threw, like a lot of people ragged on that. I did his arm got hit. It got
Yeah.
hit his hand. I mean, what's he supposed to do
Got
there?
his hand and the ball, man. Like
Yeah, of
the
course
tick
that's
pass.
gonna happen.
Yeah.
But he lit it up with his legs in the second half. Uh yeah, and got the job done. So if the 49ers are going to beat the Chiefs though, it's gotta be he's gonna have to make plays like that. Even if
Yeah.
it's with his legs. He's got to make plays. It can't all be McCaffrey and Debo.
If they let the Chiefs get up on them like the Lions did, they ain't coming back. I mean, I know that's what they've done the last two games. You ain't doing that against the Chiefs.
No, you're not going to do that against
I
Patrick
mean,
Mahomes in the biggest game of the
hell,
year.
if Reynolds could have just caught a couple of passes, man, they wouldn't be going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I shouted at the TV a couple of times like catch the ball
Dude,
uh on that. The memes though about uh is it the memes about Tony? What's his first name? Kadarius.
Yeah.
Yeah. The memes of Tony and like Josh Reynolds, like or take stealing his flow, all that. There's a clip of like some rapper doing that, and they were just comparing the two, like Josh Reynolds to Tony. And you'll have to look it up. I'm doing a horrible job of describing it, but it was the memes alone were pretty entertaining based on that. But yeah, uh, two big drops from Josh Reynolds. He had made a catch at the end of the game, but I mean, then again, you're supposed to. That's what you're supposed to do. So that was frustrating. Lions missed some opportunities. Came up short on fourth down twice.
Yeah. Could have
Where
kicked the field goal.
Okay, let's say this: if you're Dan Campbell, would you have would you have went for it on fourth down rather than take the field goal there at the end of the first half? Because
You're Dan Campbell.
I thought that was the
If you're
right
Dan
call.
Campbell, you're going for it. I mean, you're
I thought that was the right call taking the points because now you're up three possessions,
yeah.
not 21, but 17. I thought that was the right call, but it would have been the right call to do that in the second half too. Take
Yes.
the take the
Well, it's
points.
second half
And
football, yeah. But
but that's also not who they are. That's not who the Lions are. So I got it. That's who the Lions have been all year. That's what got them to this point. What
very
iced
consistent. Yeah.
yeah, what iced the Packers, what ended the Packers season last season? Sent Aaron Rodgers packing. Going for it on fourth down rather than punting the ball back to him. Like, no, we're gonna go win it now. And sure enough, Goff drops back, throws first down, Lions run out the clock and win it. That's just who they are. It'd be asking them to just go be something else. I mean, obviously hindsight's always 2020. So I don't hate the going for it. Obviously, looking back at it now, you could say, yeah, I should have taken the points there, but I didn't have a problem with it. It's yet
Hey,
Jameer Gibbs had a
my
fumble. Josh Reynolds had two big drops. You make those plays, you're probably winning the game.
yeah. I mean, if we were playing Madden and the controller was in my hands, I would have kicked the field goal. But I'm not the coach.
Even on Madden,
Well, on Madden, yeah, I'm probably just running shotgun and heaving
I
it.
was gonna say I'm going for it on fourth down. I would imagine on Madden.
But if it's in dynasty mode, I'm probably kicking the field goal.
There you go. All right, so the Pro Bowl is what this weekend? Is that
Who
correct?
cares?
Exactly. I say any. Did you watch any of it last year? Any like they're
Or the
trying
year
to.
before, or the year before.
I honestly can't tell you the last time I watched. The only time I remember watching the Pro Bowl.
Before I
Uh,
had a driver's license.
no, I've watched it since then. I mean there were good games like in high when we were in high school and like early college. I think anyway. At least I want to think there was. The last time I remember watching a Pro Bowl was in like when I lived in Fayetteville. And I
Yeah.
remember going out to like Chili's or something and being like, "Hey, let's go here. We can watch the Pro Bowl." I remember distinctly thinking that and thinking, "Hey, that's like sounds like something I'd want to do." Because if somebody told me that now, I'd be like, "Absolutely not. I'm going to stay home or whatever. I'll go do anything else." That's the last time I've actually like sat down and watched it. I've breezed by a couple of times since then. Of course, that's like 15 years ago. I've breezed by some since then. And when I saw like the two-hand touch when they were in full pads, I checked out. That's when I was like, I'm
So
done. They need
now
to
it's
end
just
this
pretty
game.
much like a televised recess, right? They're playing dodgeball and flag football,
that's
and
that's a good way to describe it.
and
Televised recess.
I would well, I take that back. I do watch the some of the skills competitions in the past, but I don't watch the actual Pro Bowl game or whatnot.
No, I have no desire to watch a flag football game. I mean, do you
Hey,
have
it's going to be
actual?
Olympics, man.
I mean, that's cool. I watched the Olympics, the Olympic version of that, not the Pro Bowl version. That I mean, that if anything, I'm just intrigued, by the Olympic version of that. Like I want to see what some of these smaller countries are going to do against Jamar Chase on the outside.
Yeah, or Mahomes sitting back there in the pocket.
You know what I mean? But I mean like yeah, Jamar Chase. Like who's going to be able to hold him in the Olympics?
That little dude from China doesn't stand a chance.
No, he doesn't. Or Angola or
France,
yeah, they're not going to know anything about
any
Angola except they're in trouble. Famous Charles Barkley quote there from the Olympics. Yeah, I'm intrigued by that, but yeah, I have noticed. I mean, they got Peyton and Eli coaching the teams. They're trying. They're
really.
trying to. Yes, they got
Oh, for the Pro Bowl. I thought you meant for the Olympics. I was like, hell yeah.
no, not for the
But
Olympics. I don't know if I want Peyton and Eli coaching for the Olympics. I mean, give me like a big time. Not saying they're
dude,
not
they'd be
big time
perfect,
football
man. They could go to the
brains.
sideline, draw up plays on Peyton's forehead. Be awesome.
Yeah, I suppose, but then it's going to be so big that the other team's going to be able to see what the play is. So
True.
I don't know.
True.
That's a good idea. But yeah, that's intriguing. We do have the Olympic. Is it going to be this Olympics when they do that? I like how we got off on the Olympics. I mean, it is this summer, but
No, it's gonna be 2028.
okay. Yeah, Jamar Chase probably won't be on the team by then. We'll we'll 2028
Wait.
really?
I don't know. Yeah,
I thought it was
I
sooner
don't
than
know.
that. But it
Maybe.
yeah, either way, I look forward to
I'm
seeing
not
it
on the
whether
Olympic
it's
committee, so I can't say for sure.
yeah, whether it's this summer or 4 summers from now. I look forward to seeing it. But all right, we'll worry about the Olympics this summer. Okay. A little bit of basketball action. Late Lakers and Warriors played the other night. I didn't see any of it. Looked like a good game, but it
Yeah,
just kind of occurred to me that this is going to be we're kind of nearing the end of like the LeBron Steph meaningful games era.
I think we're in it, man. I think it ended when we didn't notice.
I mean, it's kind of the end of an era, which is pretty wild. Or we're not there yet, but we're getting there. Still, LeBron, amazing at 39 years old. Though 39 years old, being as productive as he is, best
Yeah,
39-year-old I've ever seen for sure. Okay, top 5 teams are just going down tonight. Jumping to college basketball real quick before we get out of here. Georgia Tech beats number 3 North Carolina 74-73.
watch the end of that one. Yeah,
Yeah, just
should have been a
now.
foul called.
Tennessee loses to South Carolina. Dude, South Carolina's low key
Dude,
just having a
yeah,
great year.
they're good.
Yeah, so 2 top 5 teams go down just like that. Uh, nothing good to report on as far as Arkansas goes, except they at least
They
competed
lost
with
again.
Kentucky.
Yeah, they showed some effort.
They did. When do they play again?
Tomorrow night.
Okay, that's right. It's a Missouri game. The
Yeah,
Missouri game.
it's
They might actually win that, so I'll tune into that. But we'll touch up a little bit more on the Super Bowl, maybe Pro Bowl. We'll see next week. But till then, we're gonna get out of here. We're out of time, but we'll see y'all next week. This is Grand Pal.
Brother Brown.
Deuces, y'all.
Peace.